All right, good evening. Welcome to our regional final matchup between your Fredericksburg Billies and Austin Achieve Polar Bears. The teams are huddled up. They're just about to call the players onto the field and do call-outs and national anthem. Both teams have been here for over an hour and had a full warm-up.
They're gathered now and ready for the national anthem.
Referees called for captains. Assistant referees are checking the nets. We've got Alexis Viveros and Conrado Neri coming out for the toss.
And for Austin Achieve, you have Victor Escobar, Alexis Guillen, and Emmanuel Aranda. Achieve has won the toss and elected which side they're going to defend.
A little bit of background going into the game. Comparing their matchups through this season, Austin Achieve has played Marble Falls. They played them once and lost 3-2. Fredericksburg played Marble Falls twice. They won 4-3 in their first matchup in February, and then in March they tied 3-3. They've also both played Laga Vista. In district, Austin Achieve played Laga Vista twice. They won 3-0 and 2-0. Fredericksburg, when they played, they put a whipping on them at 6-1. They've both played Bandera in district. Fredericksburg matched up with Bandera twice. They won 2-0 in February, and then in March they won 3-2. When Austin Achieve matched up in March for their first playoff match, they won that 3-0. And then both teams have played Cole. Austin Achieve played Cole as their second playoff match in March 325, March 25th, and they won that 8-0 on a mercy rule. And Fredericksburg, when they played Cole in a tournament, January 18th, they lost 3-2. I do recall that conversation with Coach Petch. He was not pleased with that performance. It was not reflective of Fredericksburg's team this year. But we're looking forward to a good matchup tonight between Austin Achieve and Fredericksburg. Lineup tonight, Fredericksburg's playing a 3-5-1 with a holding midfielder. Up front, we've got Brian Camarena and Christian Olvera. Across the middle, our four across the middle are Charles Ryan, Conrado Neri, Santivilla, and Abraham Pargas. The holding mid is Sebastian Neri. In the back, we've got Manny Rivera, Isaac Gonzalez in the center, and Lester Molina on the right.
And as Achieve takes the field, they opted to have the wind at their backs this first half. The wind on your screens will be blowing from right to left. So Fredericksburg, where we'll start off with the ball, will be going into the wind in this first half.
Walking into the stadium tonight, I did notice that the wind was blowing more than it has in a few days, not like a couple weeks ago when it was blowing 30 and 40 miles an hour. Here in Wimberley, the winds right now are at 17 miles an hour, like you said, from right to left. Dangerous players that we want to keep an eye, Petch wants his players to keep an eye on tonight. Number 7, Freddie Lozano. Number 9, Fabricio Benitez. Number 10, Emmanuel Aranda. And Daniel Miranda, number 16. Those are their primary goal scorers for this year. Looks like Fabricio Benitez is playing their left striker. And Daniel Miranda is playing on the right side. He's wearing his orange captain's band, which will make him easier to pick out. Alexis Guillen looks like he's playing a holding mid as well. He's a second captain for Austin Achieve.
Andrew, to start off, Austin's started off with 4 at the back, but have really pushed their left back up, really trying to serve the ball into number 7, and he's trying to look to get the ball into the box.
You can really see that wind hold that ball up. Alexis's punts are usually crossing over the 50, dropping about the 40-yard line.
Fredericksburg with an opportunity here. And the Achieve keeper struggled to get rid of that ball.
And that was Camarena and Chase.
Billies have to watch the counter here.
Sebastian taking control of the ball. Lester plays the ball out of bounds for safety. The ball's bouncing, couldn't get control of it. Conrado providing cover. Cut off that pass to number 8 in the middle by dropping. Here's our pressure.
Austin's still trying to work it up. Their left side, our right side. Keep probing.
Oh, he got a little dink through for an opportunity. We'll probably look to the other side of the field. It's dangerous. Gonzalez approaching. Good defense from Isaac Gonzalez. Plays it out for a corner. Quick short corner. Back post. Alexis clears that ball out. Comes out strong. Quick counterattack. We've got Christian and Conrado forward. Camarena. That's going to be a foul called against Fredericksburg. Not intentional. Hooked his leg and trying to reach for that ball. gives the team some time to get back and recover. And talking with Coach Daly yesterday, he talked about how well the boys have done at holding their defensive line, saying they were getting 15 to 20 offsides calls a game because they were able to work as a team real cleanly.
Christian tried a little flick there and unfortunately didn't work out for him, and now Achieve again testing our right defense.
Lester did a great job keeping pressure there. He didn't dive and maintained his position between number 7, Freddie Lozano. He had 21 goals so far this season. Dangerous ball at the back post. Played back across by his head, back to the crosser. Charles Ryan carrying the ball forward. Simple pass. Oh, we're through on a breakaway. Christian's going to pick that off.
What a save by the keeper. Tried to wind again.
Isaac stepping out. Lester's challenge there with the head. Got past him. Easy ball for Alexis to wrap up there.
Andrew, it seems like tonight neither team is really looking to possess. Each are trying to quickly break the lines of the opponent. And
yeah, and watching their last game, the boys did a really good job. They do play through balls, and usually one of the reserved midfielders or forwards or strikers is flicking that ball off onto somebody else. And the boys play so quickly that it really throws their defense off when they play like that.
Christian's won that ball there. This could be dangerous for Achieve again. And they quickly get numbers behind the ball.
You know, Fredericksburg's ability to shield the players off the ball is incredible. I've been really impressed with how strong their players are getting between their opponent and the ball, going to extreme measures sometimes that don't seem possible, sort of incredible feats.
Looking to whip this ball in for the free kick there, and Achieve won that header.
Expecting to see a long ball in behind our defense here. It's a good job getting that second deflection off of him. You know, I love watching Alexis play. He's kind of a flying squirrel, getting wherever he needs to be.
What a ball right there with the wind in his face. He opted to go to ground and send it long as opposed to try to punt and get it hung up there in the air. And unfortunately, Achieve won it, and now they're back down in front of our own end.
Foul against Austin Achieve. Looks like Santi on the other side getting ready to take this, giving his team time to get forward. No one challenging there. We'd really like to see somebody get on that, get underneath it. You know, I think with this win, Logan, I think we're going to see quite a few balls rolling into Alexis. Hopefully he plays carefully and doesn't let those go over the top and get caught off guard off his line.
Little cheeky play there from him, challenging their striker to come up and picks it up, gives a punt. Again, held up in the wind, but Billies want to throw in here near midfield. For those of you watching online, we're about 10 minutes into the first half. There's just over 30 minutes left to play. Chief finally tries to switch the ball. And the Billies regain possession. Billy's found Christian here on the right. Can he get the ball back into the box? Makes one man miss, two men miss. And the ref has called a foul here just outside the box. Didn't quite feel that Christian was able to take full advantage, and so he pulled it back here to the original foul.
They've been leaving Charles Ryan open in the back quite a bit. It happened last game against Idea Quest that Charles found himself wide open quite a bit if the team can find him and get that switch in. Had some incredible shots.
Ball. What a couple of balls, but great save by...
Back to the backside with Charles. Into the corner.
I think it was Charles there that kind of cut in front of the keeper and got that initial header, and then the ball bounced around, but... Oh, it was actually Christian that cut in front of the keeper there. Christian with an initial header, and then Austin Achieve defender had to head it off the line there.
You know, I always tell my players on their first goal kick, first punt, always try and figure out how far they're hitting that ball so you can strategically get yourself in the right place for future balls. Long ball with the wind, crossing the 50.
We have offsides by Achieve, just now recognized by the officials. Also, Fredericksburg noticed something there with this substitution by Achieve and have sent Manuel Rivera over here as their right back.
Charles Ryan collecting that ball and challenge. Santi collecting that ball and providing a flick into the middle over the Achieve players. We're going to drop it back to Viveros, where he's got plenty of time to get rid of that ball, get it up forward. Sebastian collects it back to Manny.
So it's interesting there. The first 10 minutes, Achieve really tried to try our right side, always finding number 7 out here on their left wing. And then here in the last couple of minutes, they flipped their wings. Their left and their right wing have now changed places, and Achieve is trying to see.
Oh, there's a dangerous through ball.
What a shot.
What a save. Oh.
Follow up off the crossbar.
Alexis made that second dive, which I think had deflected off his body down into the ground and up towards the post. Critical save. Goes out for a corner. Fredericksburg needs to collect themselves. They got caught off guard on that one. Back post again. Out of bounds.
Yeah, so when the Chiefs swapped those wingers, Fredericksburg opted to go ahead and man mark them and swapped their right and left back as well. And so I wonder if that might have made Manuel not be aware of really where he was in the field. And so Chief was able to cut inside there and have a hit at goal. Again, great save.
Sebastian in pursuit. Still providing cover. That was a good step in there from Conrado. 18 was definitely taking a shot on goal there, and he had had a half step on Sebastian to get that shot off.
Another corner here in the first half for Achieve.
It's a good punch out from Viveros.
Achieve looks to get it back in the box quickly.
Midfield was lagging, kind of getting out on that, leaving a large gap between them and those strikers. Gave Austin Achieve space to play and receive.
I'll tell you what, Andrew, Santiago Vasquez for Achieve really likes playing over here on their left side so he can get it on his right foot and have it. I mean, he's tried to load up and have it each time he gets a little bit of space. Fredericksburg's going to have to make an adjustment there.
Yeah, I agree. They're probably going to need to shift or kind of weight themselves a little bit right based on how 18's been performing. He's only got 3 goals on the season so far, but he looks more dangerous than that in what we've seen from him.
Unfortunately, the ref has to stop the game here for an unfortunate part of the game. This is a UIL activity, and even outside of UIL, fans need to understand that inappropriate slander and name calling during a game is definitely inappropriate, and so the ref actually does an official warning there to Austin Achieve.
That was good continued pressure from Manny with Abram making the cover there to support. It's a long shot there from number 11, David Tan.
Yeah, I think David's just getting a little frustrated. I feel Achieve's probably been able to score on other opponents, and Fredericksburg's been able to get numbers behind the ball. Just having a hit from way out there, it's going to take a very special shot to beat our keeper tonight. Unfortunate incidental handball here on Fredericksburg's latest attack. Looks like a Chief goalkeeper's going to take this and send it long again. And Fredericksburg shepherded that out for a goal kick here.
Out of their 25 games that Austin Achieves played, I think I counted 15 games that they've scored 4 goals or more. So Fredericksburg's done a good job shutting them down so far.
Low line drive there by Alexis. Luckily, Achieve hadn't been able to do anything with it, and Fredericksburg's regained possession.
Foul called there against Achieve. This could be something if he can keep that in. Take a corner.
And that ball's gone out of play, hopefully, out of the stadium itself. Another ball's here, and we're ready to restart.
So we've got Conrado, Christian, and Charles there in the middle. Camarena at the top of the 18 waiting for cleanup, as well as Abraham at the back post. Transitioning. Fredericksburg's in recovery mode. Isaac did a great job recovering there.
So we're 20 minutes into this first half, Andrew, and again, neither team really looks to want to possess. Each team free kicks and any opportunity look to send it long and test the pace of the opponent.
And right, I hope we can get that changed up. I asked Coach Petch what he thought was different about the last few games. And he said one of the things he observed was that they were really trusting each other and they were passing the ball really well and opening up on the outside and really playing simple passes. They really play fun soccer to watch in terms of their flick-ons, and that was part of their last game with Idea Quest. But we saw them passing that ball back to open players and then moving the ball forward, which created more opportunity for them. They're definitely playing more direct. I mean, that might be a function of the wind, of being a little bit more cautious and reserved, getting it out of the back. Hanging up, Christian getting underneath it. Austin Achieve kind of missed that header. Got two pressuring. Neri clears it away. Looks like their defensive mid picked that up. You know, weighting those through balls is really a challenge when you're playing a straight ball headed towards the keeper. You really want to try and hit those balls diagonally so that the keeper doesn't have as good an opportunity.
Ball played off the official here. Should be Fredericksburg's ball with a drop ball there because we were clearly in possession. And we opt to send it all the way back to Alexis.
Great ball over the top. Number 6 had kind of lost it there over his shoulder. Sebastian and Chase there in the middle of the field. Did a good job staying side on.
A little dangerous. Here. I think that was a wasted opportunity there for Achieve, Andrew. They had us down, and luckily they opted to play it wide and send it over the goalpost.
You know, Christian was really strong on that ball, holding that player off so that he could trap it at his feet.
Great block there by
Isaac.
Out for another Achieve corner. Billies have a few new men to mark now, and let's make sure we're doing a good job staying focused and ready to go.
Is that 4 corners?
I believe so. Easily claimed there by Alexis. He's kind of taking his time here. I know he's sensing that the momentum is swinging Achieve's way, so he's trying to slow down play and looks to find Christian with another long ball.
Sebastian's got time here.
again, another scenario.
Lester got pulled over. His player got left backside. Thankfully, Isaac escorted that one out of bounds.
Yeah, again, luckily Seven had his head down, didn't see his two teammates there that had overloaded our left side, their right. Had some clear paths to the goal. Chief now has somebody blocking the way of the keeper. He works his way around him.
Fredericksburg needs to step out here a little bit quicker. That's too long for them to get a shot off. That's too dangerous.
Yeah, what a save there. Again, like you were mentioning, Andrew, not only do they need to step up, they need to make sure that they fully clear that ball. That was just a partial clearance, and Chief tried to take advantage of that. Corner now from the other side. Again, those of you watching online, you can see the score is 0-0, and we have 15 minutes left here in the first half.
Oh, almost. He almost snuck that one off. It was Camarena coming up the right side. Manny does a good job tracking.
Loads of space here for Achieve.
Good job stepping in there, Lester, to cut that shot off.
This is also trouble here. Ball right through the middle. That's about.
Expect to see Alexis give his team a little bit of time to get out. That's over. Simple ball there outside. It's got support behind him. Finds a way to get the ball forward. Does not find Conrado. Dangerous ball, great coverage from Lester. Manages to keep his body and get something a little bit on it to take some pace off that, and Alexis cleans that up. I'd really like to see Lester, keep an extra yard on that player so he can stay ahead of him. Great ball there from Santi. Gives it up. Charles got pace there, or is an opportunity there to get that ball forward. You know, as we transition from defense moving forward, I'd really like to see them use Paragas on the outside along with Ryan, because they're finding themselves open quite a bit. Good snag there from Isaac Gonzalez. Offside, and played that ball through. Did not get the offsides call.
Yeah, Chief is really gaining in confidence, and that time, Andrew, they looked for their open teammate, which I've been concerned about on the last few attacks that they've had. Luckily, they've opted to shoot it instead of make that one additional pass, and this time they had their head up, made that additional pass where he was through on goal. Fredericksburg's going to have to figure it out, and here's another one-on-one.
Manny got turned on that one, on that through ball behind him. That was a perfect through ball from Achieve. Alexis Viveros speaking with the referee about the questionable handball in the middle of the field that kind of started that entire play out. Not happy with that.
We got 12 minutes here to go. Let's see how the Billies respond. Achieve went ahead and made a substitution there a while back, and number 13's really been impactful for them in the midfield. And the Billies' defense has been dropping deeper and deeper, and started to give up those inside channels as opposed to forcing everything outside like they had done earlier in the game.
Defensively, when you're playing a team like this, you've really got to make sure that your body is side on, which means you're kind of facing the side of the field. That way you can go upfield or downfield. I think Alexis should come out and clean that pretty easily. Alexis is raising his hand there because of the challenge. The player obviously didn't have a chance at that ball. Keep pressure there.
And loads of space on the turn for Achieve. Has a hit from distance.
Great long ball. I'd like to see the midfield get pushed up here along with the defense and close that space. The more, if the strikers are up there by themselves and they got nobody to play off of, they're looking at a 4v1 or 4v2, which is a really tall order.
Yeah, that's very true. You've got somebody with Christian's creativity and ability to handle the ball. He can beat people 1v1, but 4v1 is a very tall order indeed.
Great parry across out of bounds there. Looked like it might have hit the post or been just inside or outside. It was really close to call. Alexis cleared that away.
Yeah, I think he was a little relaxed on that, and the wind, again, is still affecting our play, and I feel like the wind was pushing that into the goal, and luckily he realized it and parried it out. But here Achieve has won yet another corner, and this time they're actually sending a few more numbers up, only leaving 2 defenders back. This is the most aggressive they've been on a corner yet.
Looks like Camarena got that one cleared.
Looks to switch play quickly. You got some space, switch it back, but a big first touch, and unfortunately Billy's
Fredericksburg still getting out of the back kind of slow, which leaves space for Achieve to play. Right here, he was burned. Oh, pressure. Avoid that shot. Once your outside defenders beat, if they don't have the speed to catch them, you really want that center back to kind of slide over and apply some pressure and kind of keep them going down the flank instead of making their way into the middle. Conrado getting underneath that. This is more the play I saw against Idea Quest. Here we'll try and place that in behind their defense. Get shut down on that outside. I'm guessing Ryan's going to take this throw in. They've really got numbers up when they're on their defensive side. That'll be an easy one for their goalkeeper. Got 7 minutes left. Score still 0-1 to Austin Achieve. That's the flick on ball that we saw a lot of in our last game.
Well, it's just a little too far in front there. I do like what the Billies have shown in the last couple of attacks, connecting a few passes and beginning to achieve a little bit more on the run instead of just trying to play that long ball to one forward that's outnumbered.
Santi did a good job shielding the ball there, cutting it back. He had a third player actually close on top of him. Handball called against Charles there.
The Billies opting to hold their line out
We've
here.
got a player, number 13, that just snuck forward. Haven't seen him in attack much. Ball gets hung up on the wind, lands on the bench. You know, 18 that provided some threat earlier is actually dropped back to a left back position.
And now Chief has their right back flying forward. What a shot, what a cross. Great save. I was going to tell you, Andrew, I thought it was interesting, too, that a few of the substitutions that Achieve have made have been with their right back, and it looks like this time they've opted to send somebody in that's a little more offensive-minded than the others that have been out there so far today.
Christian weaving his way through, looking for that wall pass. Pass is made. Christian cuts that off. Just a little bit too hard on that touch, getting past their defender. Yeah, I think Alexis could have. Oh, looks like he's in pain. Looked like he was collecting that a little bit loosely and trying to pull that player in. Looks like it. Looks like the ball might have pinged him in the inner thigh, or it might have gotten him in his privates. Clock is stopped at 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Play this as a drop ball to the team in possession. Anytime there's an injury, when the ball's inbounds in play, the ref will play that as a drop ball to the team that was previously in possession. The other team has to be 4 yards away. The player can do whatever they like with that ball in terms of dribbling out, or they can play it as a single one-touch kick. Lex is going to pull their forward in, make some space in behind them. Right, he could play a quick throw to Sebastian in the middle because their defense is really backed up right now. They're probably trying to hold on to this 1-0 until halftime. plays it back to Lester. Lester sees a long ball to Christian. Christian's dragging that across the field, takes the foul. Can get Pargas forward, clean up the backside if that ball comes over.
Play it short to Christian here. Quick restart. Christian sends
Ball's
it
over the
forward.
top. Dangerous ball. Got 3 white players, 3 Billies underneath that ball. Here's an opportunity to get that ball across. Still dangerous ball in the 18.
Still wide open there on the backside if we can find that cross.
Camarena carrying. Nice back heel from Paragas.
A lot of tidy touches there from Fredericksburg. Unfortunately, just tried one too many instead of just having a hit there. Once you create a little bit of space, let's put their goalkeeper under pressure and make him make a save. I think we let him off the hook easy there.
That was Conrado with that back heel. I mistakenly said it was Paragas. Referee awards a direct kick to Austin Achieve on about the 18-yard line.
Yeah, I didn't really see that there, Andrew. I think he was, again, trying to play advantage and decided there was enough contact early on to bring it back. Now that is a lot of contact, should be a card. Doesn't look like he's even going to talk to him. Very dangerous play there by Austin Achieve forward. I get it.
It's funny you mentioned that playing advantage. I was watching the play. I was curious if he was playing advantage, but I didn't see him raise his arms up like you usually see. They usually hold that position a little bit longer to make sure it's really clear they're playing advantage. Because I did not see a foul in when he actually ended up blowing his whistle. So that was a good see, Logan.
I know some of you back at home would be getting on to me that I'm a little quick to say, that was a dangerous play with that challenge in there, but.
There's 13 with an attempted shot. Lots of legs in front of him, though. Didn't have much chance there.
Here you go, another high ball again. And again, when a goalkeeper goes up, they're in a defenseless position there. And Austin Achieve forward didn't really look like he was making a play on the ball, more a play on Alexis.
Great flick off. Christian's going to catch that one. Good pressure on the keeper. Last game against Idea Quest, the keeper didn't have very secure hands, was not sure-handed, and we saw lots of balls that were, even if they were long, they were chipping them into that keeper.
Billy's in trouble here. Last 10 seconds of this half. Can they get numbers back? They do. We just play it out for a corner, and that should actually be the last kick of the game. Achieves ball. People struggle. There's one ball on the field, one ball in the corner. Can't have a restart with a ball in the field. Ref tries to clear it, and it's time, but there's no horn here in Wimberley.
There he goes with his whistle.
And he's now signaled for halftime. Ladies and gentlemen at home, again, if you've tuned in at some point, Achieve was able to score 1 goal, and they are taking a 1-0 lead into halftime. Tonight's halftime entertainment, unfortunately, was unable to make it to the game, and so you'll get to stay tuned and hear Andrew and I's perspective on what happened during the first half and maybe what we'd like to see out of the Billies in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things I'd like to see that I've seen them play, we've kind of mentioned, they're playing a lot of long balls, and it seems less strategic than it has in their previous few games. I feel like there's a little bit more of a frenetic energy in terms of just trying to clear that ball away, as opposed to trying to take a deep breath and get composure and really start looking for who they want to play that ball to. And their marksmanship's incredible when they're on and they're composed and they're in the zone. It's really fun to see. Like, when these boys can play with the ball in the air in terms of how they flick that ball on. They use their head and body to shield players off, and it's just really fun soccer to see. This game, I feel like it's been a little bit messier, but I think I think that's what Coach Petch will talk to him about in the second during halftime is, they're not really playing their game. They kind of fell into what Achieve was playing, really just trying to bang long balls through with the wind.
Yeah, that's, again, something that I don't know that everybody at home is able to see. The wind has definitely affected that half. Some of Alexis's punts were held up in the air, didn't go near the distance that the team's used to. He opted to try to deliver a few balls from ground, and again, but everything seemed to be very direct. And I'm also curious, Andrew, out of the goals that Fredericksburg has scored this year, a majority of them have come from which players?
Actually, it's Camarena and Christian have both put quite a few goals in. But one of the things that I really appreciate when I talked to Coach Petch yesterday, I asked him what was one of the biggest differences this year, and he said they really play as a team. You've got some really standout, incredible players, but they all seem to play together and selflessly. And one of the examples he gave was it was a few games ago, and there was I guess Christian got fouled in the box, and it was a penalty kick, and he kind of assumed that Christian was going to take it. And let's see, he passed it. He let Camarena take the penalty kick, and after the game, he was like, "Hey, that was your PK. How come you didn't take it?" And he was like, Camarena had 2 goals in the game already, and he really wanted Camarena to have that hat trick. And that's really selfless play, to be able to see the big picture and see how playing the game affects everyone's morale. And it's not about who scores the goal. It's about that you win as a team. So that was nice to hear. And talking to Coach Daly, I kind of asked the same question to him, and he said, he's like, I really got to give Petch credit. He said, this was yesterday, I was speaking with him, and he said 1 year ago today, Petch said he saw greatness in these kids, and he told them 1 year ago that he was going to stay for 1 more year and coach these guys. And Daly just said, I have to give him credit because he saw it. He saw what was on the horizon. He saw that these players were really starting to kind of gel and come together, and their chemistry was just phenomenal. And I think Petch isn't a real emotional guy, but he's really committed to this team. He might not show it, but he loves coaching these kids, and I think it makes a difference. He's got a relationship with them, and they have fun together, regardless of what Petch's demeanor is and how they are around the kids. He's a pretty quiet person. He'll get frustrated and call a spade, but they know that he's really trying to push them to be a good team.
Yeah, I think that's something that where people could say Petch might be a little rough around the edges. Coming out in 1999 and doing something different in the Hill Country, and establishing a program that, as far as Region 4 4A soccer is concerned, I don't know of a lot of people that want to meet Fredericksburg in the playoffs. I know that, again, year in and year out, they've brought a lot of quality onto the field, and just every night seem to be giving it their all. And I think that a lot of that has to be attributed to Petch and the culture he's been able to create and sustain, and those that have helped him along the way. I know a few years back, Michael Gutierrez was able to help out, and I know the boys really bought into some stuff, and they've really again just are very responsive to whatever Petch asks of them. And I know, but the same sense, he'll put it all on the line for those boys too. And so, really exciting to see Fredericksburg soccer. So,
in terms of the history between the two teams, we haven't even talked about that yet. So, it was kind of funny in talking with Coach Daly yesterday. He said, it used to be all roads lead to Bernie. He's like, it didn't matter when it was, but at some point going through playoffs, you were going to meet Bernie. And he said, now it's all roads lead to Achieve. Over the last few years, the previous 2 years, Achieve has been the team in playoffs that's knocked out Fredericksburg boys from the playoffs. 2 years ago, like it's almost difficult to even talk about, but that game ended up 0-0 after overtime, went into penalty kicks, went into a shootout, and went to all 5 kickers, and Fredericksburg was the last kicker. They ended up 5-4. Their last kicker missed that shot, and they ended up standing by as Achieve moved on. Last year, Fredericksburg lost 2-1 in a crazy turn of events. Literally, the shot it was 2-1 with literally seconds on the clock. Somebody pulled the shot from between 50 and 60 yards out. The ball tucked underneath clipped the post and went into the goal. But in high school soccer, it's based on when that buzzer goes, and the buzzer went when the ball was between the 6-yard line and the goal line. And that difference of hundredths of a second was what led to that loss there. If that goal had been counted, they would have gone into overtime, and who knows what could have gone from there. But it's one of those, they've had 2 heartbreaks against Achieve, and I know Petch and this coach kind of have history in terms of those 2 games. It's not those 2 aren't even the only games they've matched up against. Just saw. Let's see.
Well, I have to wonder while you're looking that up, whether or not, and I don't know who actually got to settle on the location, but, you saying that simply beat by the buzzer could have definitely played into the fact of Petch wants to play here in Wimberley where there is no buzzer. And so the clock hits 0, and you got to rely on the officials to be paying attention to both things. Again, Achieve almost squeezed in an extra corner there at the end of the half. Luckily, the linesman was paying attention to it. But before they get ready for the restart, Andrew, I know you were looking up some things. It looks like Achieve, though, where we mentioned that Fredericksburg kind of has a dynamic duo up top. It looks like a vast majority of Achieve goals have come from their number 9, Fabrico Benitez. And I would say in the first half, the Billies did an excellent job of frustrating him and shutting him down. Anything else you've seen from that?
I mean, number 7, I don't even remember commenting on number 7. Have you seen him on the field? Number 7's Freddie Lozano. He has 21 goals for the year, but if he's on the field, I haven't even noticed him, which says a lot. Either he's injured and not on the field, or he's just been shut down today.
I think he's been out there, but it's a testament to what the defense for the Billies has done. And I think goes back to what I was saying originally. We were forcing them outside. They tried to move Freddie over here to this other side, I think, so he could. That was a different player there for them, but. They've tried to move those attacking players around because of the frustration that Fredericksburg has shown. And you're right there. Freddie has sat back down. He's not going to go in for this to start this second half. And
I think one of the strategies could be, too, I feel like there's been a lot of change up in their strikers, and I think one of the things they might be doing is just alternating people in and out of those positions, because that makes it more difficult for your defense to track. It requires a lot more communication. If you don't have a good communicator there in the back, that can be really dangerous because you've got somebody dropping off and your defender follows them while somebody else is starting to pinch up forward. And if somebody's not paying attention to that and doesn't keep an awareness there, your defender gets sucked out and you've got a new player sneaking up top.
Yeah, and this as we get ready to start the second half, this group of 3 up top for Achieve started, instead of trying to play the ball wide, tried to draw Fredericksburg out wide and then cut inside those exposed middle channels. So looks like they're going to try to do the same thing in this half. But now they're going into the 18-mile-per-hour wind and at times 32-mile-per-hour gusts. So let's see how that plays out in this half.
Billy's throw there. Charles is going to take that. You know, one of the things I like about the team is they've got some nicknames for each other. Santi in hot pursuit there. Keeper makes a wild clear. Makes this almost zero forward progress as the wind spins that out of bounds at the 10-yard line, 20 yards off the goal line. If we can get that across, great dangerous ball there by Christian.
Yeah, I didn't think Christian was even going to be able to keep that ball in with the wind blowing it out, and he was able to keep it in and swing it around. Unfortunately, hits the field goal post as opposed to the soccer goal post. No foul awarded. Ref says play on. A lot of contact there on Christian. Now Chiefs countering, and they've cut the ball inside. This is trouble again for Fredericksburg. Luckily got numbers back and cleared
Lester,
out.
yeah, Lester double teamed him there, which is a kind of a good time to do it as they were coming across the field. That's going to be a head challenge there. Oh, both going down with holding their heads. Is that Santi down, number 10?
I believe so. The refs called the coaches on from both teams. Check on heads. We always want to make sure player safety is number one.
Clock's been stopped at 38:10. Concussion protocol for high school says that if there's any sign, as the trainers check their players, if there's any signs of concussion, those players can't return to play. They have to be cleared by medical staff. But that'll be the trainer's decision there to assess the players and determine how to proceed. And
go ahead. Sorry, Andrew.
I was going to say in high school, if they stop the clock for injury, those players do have to come off the field. They can return after play's been initiated and the ball goes out of bounds. They can substitute back in, but that is a requirement that the player has to leave the field and be subbed out.
And the one exception to that we saw there in the first half where the goalkeeper was able to stay on the field. Was that just a referee exception, Andrew, or is that typical?
I don't know if – are you talking about when Alexis went down?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know in that regards. Actually, it might be if they call the coaches on. If they stop the clock and they call personnel onto the field, then they have to be subbed out. So usually what they will do, the referee will do, is they'll check in with the player and assess if a trainer is needed, because they don't really want to have to force a sub in that situation. They want to give the player the opportunity to get back up and play. Right? That's really dangerous if you've got your keeper that goes down and they preemptively call the trainer onto the field.
Right, and that's probably, again, why Fredericksburg's Alexis's teammate there came and helped him stretch that cramp out, and he was able to.
Charles Ryan with a curving ball into the box. Looks like Manny trying to apply pressure. Sebastian in recovery. Clears that ball away. Good job. Trying to open it up wide. I think that's Manny again. Can't see his number. That's got to be Camarena. Oh, dangerous ball. I think he's going to catch that.
Yeah, a little lackadaisical play there from Alexis, coming out of his box and haphazardly trying to just blast it as long as he could in the wind. And I think
in that situation, he just needs to play the ball to the side of the field. His defender is doing the right thing, trying to shield that ball off. That is not how you want to give up a goal in a playoff game.
That ball's going to carry through. Again, the Chiefs
Chris-
not used to having to go into the wind in this half, and Billies haven't adjusted yet to Christian's.
That's going to be a little bit heavy there. It's an easy collection for their keeper. It looks like he might roll that one out because they've got plenty of space. Our midfield's really reserved. Our last defender's on the 40-yard line. That gives them 70 yards to play on. You've got the 60 yards of the football field plus the 10 yards in the end zone on your soccer field. So that's giving them a lot of space to play. Manny overplays the shielding, almost gets caught there and beat. See if Christian can get that ball down. Lots of pressure in the back there, and referee calls it. You can go shoulder to shoulder, but once you start jabbing, getting people in the back, the refs are usually going to call that one in high school.
Yeah, unfortunately for Christian there, he got a lot of contact there. Initially, he fought through it, and then once he gave up positioning, got frustrated and gave a little too much contact.
Isaac plays a simple ball to the outside, doesn't try to bang it into the legs of that offensive player right in front of him. We've got numbers forward here, which is nice to see her switching it up. Ball comes across to Charles Ryan. He looks like he's got that ball in the corner.
He's looking to just go right back to the middle, though.
Very direct ball. Ooh, ball cleared wildly with the left foot. Billy's throwing. I thought in that situation right there, Charles could have played that ball into the left corner there for Camarena. And then Camarena either could have taken it inside or played that across to Christian or Paragas on the backside.
Yeah, unfortunately, once Charles decided to kind of hold that ball up, instead of playing that ball down the line like you mentioned, kind of limited his options and unfortunately couldn't find the target there in the middle.
Good maintenance there from Camarena. Gives it away. That's going to be a foul. It's probably going to get a verbal warning on that one.
A little tactical foul, slow down their counterattack. I don't mind that type of foul, Andrew. It lets your team reset. Achieve really hasn't acted like they've wanted to send it long into the wind, but maybe they're going to give it a try this time.
So here we've got numbers. It looks like they've got a free guy holding his hands up. We're at 33 minutes. It's great pressure from Santi. Santi's easy to pick out there. I know the numbers sometimes are hard to pick out. He's got his orange shoes and his wrist taped up. Sorry, he's got his white shoes on, wrist taped up. Makes them easier to pick out.
Again, a couple of opportunities there for the ref to call a foul, try to let Christian realize the advantage, and he wasn't able to do that, so we called the ball back to where one of those fouls occurred.
Look how deep Achieve is getting. They've got 8 of their field players within 25 yards of their goal.
Yeah, that ball's still over the top.
That is a dangerous ball there.
Yeah, I think used to a lot of teams would hold the 18-yard box, Andrew, and there's still a lot of space for a goalkeeper to cover there. If Achieve really wants to kind of lock things down, I would hold that line back closer to the PK spot, especially with Fredericksburg showing that they can place a ball with quite a bit of distance in the middle of the goal. So.
Wow, no call there from either the referee or the AR. People call them the linesman, but technically they're called the assistant referee, which is why you'll hear AR occasionally. That relationship between the referees, it's very, very specific about how centers want to run it. Oh, we've got a dangerous breakaway from 18. He's playing on the right side now. First half he was on the left side. He's still trying to get that over to his right foot to get a shot off. If I were his coach, he looks like he's going to be more dangerous on that left side where he can come across the field and shoot with his right. He kept having to trying to play towards his left and then cut it back to get on his right side. Constant pressure there. Got around the wrong side of him, so he's taking up that space that we left him when we got on the opposite side of him.
Yeah, you know, that didn't work out for Fredericksburg there, Andrew, but I really liked that opportunity. I believe I think Fredericksburg's got something going on there. If they can just try to find
Great challenge.
Camarena when he's moving, not try to force him around the defender like that. I think that's
yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, Santi, I love how hard Santi tried for that ball. That was not his ball to get, but he got up as high as he could, and he was arched back to get that ball on his head, and in doing so, he attracted that foul because it almost forced the Chief player underneath him. Anytime you've got somebody going up for a header and the opponent goes underneath that player, or bends over, or causes that player to fall back a little bit, they're going to get called on that.
You know, another attempt from distance, got a little bit closer to the frame this time, but again, Chief has a goalkeeper back there with quite a bit of size.
Isaac
I don't know if we're going to beat him from there.
Isaac took a knock on the head there. That was not intentional, but that Achieve player's head, referees just stopped the clock. Sorry, not Isaac. That's Sebastian. Sebastian, they both went up. The Achieve player's head went backwards into Sebastian's forehead, and he immediately kind of bent over, kind of grabbing his head. I'm sure because it's a head injury, they're gonna looks like he's gonna give him a minute. Looks like Fredericksburg's nobody's quite got the legs for that one. That would have been a long, hard chase to catch that one. Looks like Sebastian's okay, thankfully. He's tracking players well. Good pressure there from Christian. You know, you can speak to that as a goalkeeper, Logan, if that's an easier ball or a harder ball when it comes in bouncing, or if you want to catch that out of the air.
Yeah, no, I think definitely anytime you can just cleanly claim one out of the air, a little bit easier. You never know how the ball's going to bounce. And then, for Christian to be putting him under pressure, that's exactly what he's got to do there. And you never know, what might happen from it, where if you just relax and takes a bad bounce,
hard.
You never get there.
Yeah, great pressure from Charles there. Good clear away from from Isaac with his left foot. .28 minutes remaining. Chief throw. If you look at this field, there is pretty much the entire team is between the hash marks and the sideline at this point. Really condensed on the left side. Handball, definitely. Maybe a quick transition here for Fredericksburg. Yep. Santi looking to play that ball quickly. Decides to hold off. Achieve is doing a really good job getting players back. Their midfield's doing a good job tracking. All right, right now we've got 5 Billies forward, and they've got 7 of their players back.
Yeah, poor ball forward there, and unfortunately found the one Achieve midfielder that wasn't all the way back. But luckily they go long, and it's back in the hands of Alexis.
Logan, you think that was a through ball, or you think he was trying to take a wild shot, seeing that Alexis was kind of off his line on the 18? This is going to be dangerous.
It's very possible. Christian outworking him here. The AR, although sometimes I still traditionally call him the linesman, the AR there went ahead and said too much contact. I'd like to make sure he's calling it both ways on that one.
So one of the things I was kind of starting to say, but I got sidetracked as we were in attack. That relationship between the center ref and your ARs is really important, and sometimes the centers will kind of dictate how much involvement they want from an assistant referee, if they want them calling fouls, or if they want to leave it to the ref and just eye contact. I would guess, I can't see from here, but usually once you get in a playoff mode. Referees are playing with radios so they can communicate.
Oh, Christian. He's going to wish he had that opportunity back. Again, Fredericksburg still just wanting to play that long ball, and they finally got a ball through, and he had just a touch of space, tried first time with his left foot, and just mishit it there.
One of the things I'll say for the Fredericksburg boys is they are hungry. Like, they fight for the ball intensely, with an intensity that I think outmatches any of their opponents. When these guys are turned on and their switch is flipped, it's pretty incredible to see how well they use their body and how physical they are against their opponents. I got to say, I think that left back for Achieve is a place that Fredericksburg really needs to be exploiting, playing up that right side.
Yeah, he's definitely struggling a bit, especially with this wind. It's kind of a diagonal wind blowing more in his face, and found Christian's feet here. Took a little knock in the back. Ref again decides that's not a foul. Achieve not really sending numbers forward. But
see, here, Isaac, our defenders are facing the right way. They've got their hips turned downfield, waiting for that long ball to go through. They're not, staying square up. They're already in transit backwards. And that's how you're going to beat those one-on-ones. Excessively long play there. I'd still like to see these boys get that ball and start making their shorter passes and weaving in and out amongst each other, letting the ball do some of that work.
Yeah, it doesn't seem, though, that either team wants to do that tonight. Both teams seem happy just lumping it long and seeing if their goal scorer can beat your defender.
In that regards, Petch, they don't – we've got, it looks like five players on the bench, and Chiefs got an entire team. I counted 21 players when they were lined up for the national anthem. And when you've got that, you can throw a player in for 5 minutes and give one of your studs a break. But Fredericksburg tends not to sub very often. They might get a player in here or there for a few minutes, but Petch really likes to keep his squad pretty small and get everybody playing most of that game.
Yeah, it's difficult trying to balance out chemistry and letting people be able to understand the play of the other, but also
this is going to be dangerous.
Keeping your players fresh.
That seems like that should have been a foul. That was the exact same push in the back prior to Achieve's player going down. It's a good clear from Isaac. Like to see his defense get up in front of him. That was a great chip. Good left-footed chip there from Christian, trying to drop that in between that goalkeeper and who is that? Conrado running forward.
Again, in that situation, Billy's turned the ball over, looking to just kind of not find those short connecting passes like you've mentioned.
Great steal there. Come on. Oof. There's a mishit. Goes into Achieve's feet. It's a good challenge there. Good challenge. Let's get forward, White. Got Ryan on the left. Wide open. We're still not seeing those opportunities. See what he decides to do here.
Fredericksburg looked to play quick. And
Camarena's going to leave that for Charles to take.
Fredericksburg still not really putting numbers forward in the box, though. And here's that depth you talked about. Achieve's looking to put their other captain back on the field, and then their leading goal scorer in the year, who has been out the first 20 minutes of the second half. Both of them looking to come on and potentially change up what the Billies defense is seeing here for the last 20 minutes of the second half.
That's great pressure from Camarena, not giving up. Here's 10 making his way forward. You just keep him on that outside. He wants to cut inside. There he is. Alexis makes a clean stop. You know, as a defender, one of the first things I always did when players came on was determining which foot they were dominant on and kind of abusing their other foot. In that situation, it appears that was it number 8 that came in on that challenge up the right side. It looked very apparent to me from the very beginning that he was going to want to go left and get that ball on his left foot. And if we can keep him on that outside and kind of just run him down the side and out of bounds, that's the safest place you can get that defender as long as the ball's on his feet. Christian hoping that one slips through. Trying to time his diagonal run on that diagonal ball. All right, those are those balls that, oh, we've got an opportunity here. Great challenge. I'm going to call it. That's going to get called. This is going to be a card.
You know, I'm not real sure what he saw on that initial one, though, when Achieve had to swing their leg all the way around.
Yeah, I agree. He missed the first foul, and then the second foul gets called and carded. You know, typically when that happens, it's they call it kind of like a retaliatory. I mean, in this situation, I don't think it was retaliation. I think he was preventing a breakaway. But lots of times when you see those ticky-tacky fouls, and it's usually the second one that's going to get called. You know, one of the things they talk about in terms of refereeing is that's game management. Like, how do you control the temperature of the game to keep it hot but not, you know, boiling? And sometimes you're trying to let the players play and kind of maintain balance of both teams being able to play at that hot level. But at some point, you got to make sure you don't let that water boil, because then in terms of game management, can get out of control. We're at a little bit less than 20 minutes left. Fredericksburg's down 0-1. Austin Achieve leading off a breakaway goal in the first half.
Tactically, Achieve's made a little bit of a tweak. The first half we saw a more traditional 4-3-3. Notice they were a little slow going forward to the first half of this second half, and first 20 minutes of the second half. And then this last substitution they've done, they've shifted more to a traditional 4-4-2. You know, again, I don't know if that's just to keep a few numbers back as they try to protect the lead.
You know, on this defensively right now, both outside wings are outside the entire field of play. Like, that ball is going to get played towards the middle. I feel like Riney should be pinching in towards the middle. And who's on that outside right? They should both be sliding inside so that they can either double team a player or clean up any slop.
I've always kind of asked, don't guard grass, you know, and there's no attacking option for Achieve outside of either one of these Billies wing players, and they should definitely squeeze in because there's huge gaps in the middle here for Achieve. Keeper sends it long.
It's going to be a little bit short. Let's see the Billies get out and get pushed up. That ball got called out of bounds before he got a touch on it. Who is that on the far side right now?
Well, Andrew, you keep calling out my 44-year-old eyes and the fact that I didn't bring any binoculars tonight, so your guess is as good as mine on who that is on the far side there.
That might be Camarena. That's going to be a throw-in for Fredericksburg. Just barely missed that corner flag, just a yard inside of it.
Be nice if the Billies could get a flick on here and get something on goal. And
that's right back to Charles's feet. No handball called there.
And that's gone out for a
That's
corner.
going to be a corner. Billy corner. Got a substitution coming on. Looks like Santi's run coming on the field.
Yeah, I think it was Santi that got that card earlier.
That's right. So he had to go off.
He went off, and Petch gave him a few extra minutes. And now what an opportunity for him to come back on and make a difference in this game with this corner here. Sent it
Good
fairly
challenge
long.
in the air.
And achieve just anywhere will do.
It's got Charles down the line.
Misplayed there by Charles, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Frustrated with himself. Knows he can do better.
Man, that wind really pulled that ball. It's a good kick, and it was headed inwards, but with the spin that it had on it, it dragged it right out of bounds. It's going to be a head flick on to Christian. Christian turns it. He's coming across the field right to left. Gets a left-footed shot off.
Yeah, the defender for Achieve slipped down there, gave Christian a window of opportunity, and unfortunately he
No handball called there.
wasn't able
Looked
to finish.
like a pretty straightforward ball. This gives time.
Chiefs sent numbers forward. We're outnumbered.
I was going to say Fredericksburg midfield was dragging a little bit, trying to recover. I think they're probably starting to get into
That
a
ball's
more
gonna bounce.
aggressive attack mode to try and make up that 0-1 difference.
Achieve defender looked to play it back to his keeper. Unfortunately, his keeper wasn't aware. Or fortunately for us, and Billies are going to get another corner. Just like we saw in the first half, Billies play it early and play it short. Nope, that was just turning the ball over there to Santi, so he can take the corner here. So wasted opportunity there for the Billies. Tried to go low into the front post. Unfortunately, just goes out of bounds. Achieve now making a few other substitutions. Again, replaced their top scorer, number 9, with their second leading scorer, number 7. And he's hanging out over there on our right, their left. Great ball in here. Can Christian do something with it? He flicks it past the keeper. Achieves defender there. And viewed as should have been a corner. All the players reacted like it was a corner. And unfortunately, no VAR here. And so goal kick for Achieve. Christian was adjudged to have worked his way into the back of the Achieve player, and Achieve wins a free kick. Again, both teams, no matter what, even though there's 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts, we want to send it long. See what happens.
Headed away by Isaac Gonzalez.
And this ball's
Santi
gonna
with an
carry.
ball over the top. Christian, a high pressure. Looked like a handball there, but
definitely was a handball.
referee
couldn't see
was
it.
not in a position to be able to see that ball.
No.
I think if they did have radios, I think the AR could have called that one pretty easily. There's a handball.
Billy's win another another corner kick here, and let's see. Hopefully, we can put this one in the mixer and make something out of it. Went all the way through.
Another
Again,
corner.
Off a Achieve defender, and we'll try it from the other side. Now, this one again, wind is going to affect this ball because it's blowing towards that corner flag. This ball could hook in and create some problems for the goalkeeper. And it's hooking. Great opportunity. Again, off our leg. Can't get a shot off. We do maintain possession, and we lump it forward and out wide. Just over 13 minutes here left in the second half. Again, Billies trail 0-1, and Achieve's going to take all the time that they can on these restarts.
Referee put the whistle to his mouth for that one, but never blew the whistle. Fredericksburg lucked out there. Ooh.
You know, you have to wonder when are the Fredericksburg defenders going to get a little desperate and start to commit numbers forward.
It's funny, I was looking at the clock at 13 minutes. We're down to 12, and I was thinking the same thing. At what point Petch will decide to maybe change formation or maybe substitute a more offensive player into the back. It's a good drop ball by Achieve there. So a player can see the whole field in front of him.
Achieve's got another opportunity here, and Fredericksburg plays it out. It's going to be a corner for Achieve. You know, I think, Andrew, right after we said it, I think when Petch started this game a while back, it was a sweeper and a stopper, and so that defensive midfielder, that stopper that he's had, is starting to creep forward. And again, you're really relying on your back three to be able to handle
Looks
it.
like we're going to have a short.
Nope.
They're just maybe ticking a little time off the clock.
Yeah, I think whatever they can do to keep the clock running down. It's a very long corner. And it's going to go out for an Achieve throw.
We got unmarked players right now.
And
there we go.
Achieve just plays it back.
There's an extra player up top.
Little bobble there from Alexis, but again, nothing too precarious. And he's going to look to send it long. This ball's going to bounce over the top again. Christian actually flicked that on. Just too long, though. What a miss hit by the keeper. Can Fredericksburg do something with it? Great opportunity here. Goalkeeper tried to punt it, hit the ball.
Oh, it looked like it came off. It looked like he actually got that.
Unfortunately, again, AR's not in a position to make a call. They have no idea, and just
they give the defensive throw.
Go with the safe option.
So he actually tucked it with his back heel, and it deflected off of Achieve's foot there. But you know, the center ref was not in a position to be able to see it, and like I said, your AR is only going to be running from the 50 to the goal line. In this case, he was on the other half, which is where he's supposed to be.
Yeah, no, again, and I definitely couldn't be out there running with these boys. So kudos to the officials for all that they do.
You know, Coach Daly, last night called it. He said, you know, like I mentioned before, we play pretty flat in the back in order to keep people from getting away from us or tucking in behind other defenders. And they have not. I think they've only had one offsides. Achieve has only been offsides one time tonight, and that is the primary responsibility. One of the primary responsibilities of your assistant referee is watching for offsides. They're
kind of gave up that middle channel. Luckily, again, the wind, I think, assisted Fredericksburg's defense.
Good defense there, keeping them outside. Don't let them cut in the middle. Good job. Manny did a good job. And they're calling that as a corner for Achieve. They've got 3 players approaching that corner flag right now. One of them walking away. Looks like Manny's kind of hanging out outside there, looking for that short. Opportunity is marking up 14 walking into the box right now.
They went ahead and opted to sub. Again, Fredericksburg needs to be aware their leading scorers come on. He looks like to be one of their bigger, more physical players. They're trying to find his head here, and Alexis goes out and punches that ball away.
Charles taking a quick throw there. Looks like a great opportunity to switch the ball. Goes straight forward to Christian. Christian's off. That's got to be, they're definitely calling that one. I think he's going to speak with him, kind of saying that's your last opportunity. Don't do that again.
Yeah,
so that's his last verbal warning. Next one, anything like that, he'll be getting a yellow card.
I think Christian's a little frustrated there. Incidental contact and a little simulation there, but again, in the end, you just got to play your game and not let the opponent affect you.
Talk. Ball's through. Can you get it to Ryan? Ryan's through. Charles would definitely pressure this and not let him take that out of bounds without pressure. Oh, that's going to be a card. He pushed him in the back. That was very forgiving of our center referee. That was a frustration foul. One of the things I've tried to really encourage my players to do is in that situation is get up to the side of them and try and slide your legs around and make contact with that ball first to keep that ball in bounds. Like even if it's ugly or it bangs off the player and you get a corner kick out of it, letting them just walk that ball out of bounds is
big trouble here for Fredericksburg. But again, I think the wind helped slow the ball down.
It's 13 away on a through ball to our keeper. Yeah, I think they're doing a good job keeping their body in front of Christian as a tactic to keep Christian frustrated. But in that situation, you've got to defensively, if you're not playing the ball, it's impedance.
Chiefs looking to get the ball centered. Oh, my goodness. PK's been awarded. Again, looks like went down fairly easy there, but
I thought he made contact with that ball. I thought he popped that ball out in front of him.
A lot of times referees say, they're not there to impact the game. But, this game's been fairly even throughout, and here we are just under 6 minutes to play. Again, those of you there on your screen, you have the ability to potentially pause and rewind. We don't have that advantage here, but, again, looked like Achieve quickly went down in the box there.
All right, we're looking for Fredericksburg players to be lined up, ready to chase this ball down off a deflection off the goalpost or off of Alexis. You got to be the second person to the ball if this ball deflects.
Alexis making himself big here. Let's see if you can make a Chiefs striker make a mistake. Unfortunately, wrong side of Alexis there.
2-0, 5 minutes, 53 seconds to go. That was a perfect penalty kick.
That should definitely be a card. They all left the field to play and have grabbed the corner flag here. But nothing said. So Fredericksburg now trails 0-2 with just under 6 minutes to play. Again, down but not out, Andrew. On the way here, discussing with you probably the goal of a lifetime. I know if Gareth Glick's out there listening tonight or any of the Willis Wildcats, they'll remember just with seconds to go, Montgomery thought that they had eliminated us from the playoffs, and we were able to squeeze one back with mere seconds left to go in the game. So Billies not down, or are down, but not out of this thing.
I think it's based on just the little bit we've seen just now since the kickoff, Chiefs looking to burn time. They got 5.5 minutes left. Fredericksburg's not going to stop fighting. It's going to be a clean, easy keeper. He's going to try and transition this ball quickly. Looks like it's out to Camarena. Christian on the run. Trying to get more players forward. He's trying to get that ball across to people in the middle. That looks like it's going to be a goal kick. Ball had a wicked spin off of it, off of the deflection. Pulled that ball out of bounds for a goal kick instead of a throw. Great touches there, moving the ball forward. That's the play I was looking for this entire game. I'd like to see him continue to press. Oh.
That's a PK there too. 2-footed challenge over the top of the ball.
He's calling it just outside of the box. 4:17 left in the game.
I think originally, Andrew, he pointed to the spot. So let's see what happens here. Yes, sir. He's awarded a PK in this situation. It happened right at the top of that gray box, that gray line. I don't know if those of you at home can see it or not. We really struggle to see I at least struggle to see the box here in Wimberley.
Christian lined up to take the PK. Fredericksburg not ready for a follow-up. Lots of faith here. 2-1, Christian Olvera, penalty kick.
And the clock is running. I don't know why the clock is running. So clock should not have run. A few seconds should have been put back on, but I guess the clock operator here is wanting to try to go home a little early. And the Billies
trying to get that ball back on the halfway line, try and keep this momentum going. 2-1. Polar Bears up by 1, 4 minutes, 10 seconds left. Little breath of life for the Billies. I guarantee you're about to see some game intensity from White.
Lots of pressure from the Billies. There it is. Good opportunity here. Unfortunately.
Good challenge. That's going to be a goal kick.
Went off the keeper, and again, just going to kill as much time as they can. Keeper might set it on one side and move it to the other.
Referee was signaling for them to play and not hold up play. It's a good awareness. Got 2 Billies underneath it. Sebastian challenging there. This should be an easy clean for Alexis. Hopefully a quick return. Yep, here it comes. Long ball. Let's see if we can get some pressure on this ball. Dangerous ball.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Good job from Isaac pressuring. Isaac's going to push forward here. Great with the ball at his feet.
Good tackle there from a Chief. Slow down the counterattack from Fredericksburg. Fredericksburg quickly restarting the ball.
Yeah, look at this backside of the field. If we can make this switch, here we go.
No,
get to the ball.
Unfortunately, just too soft of a pass, not enough pace on it.
Santi saw that a lot earlier than anybody else did on this side of the field. If that ball had come over about 3 seconds earlier, he had all kinds of space. Here we go. Let's keep this ball moving.
Too heavy of a touch there from Charles, but
Charles is so strong on the ball. Got plenty of time out here, Lester does, on the left side. Oh, wow, that's not a clean ball.
2.5 minutes ago.
That was 2 feet. It was because he came in feet first from behind. It doesn't matter if he really got ball or not. That was an extremely dangerous challenge when you're coming in cleats up.
Yeah, that's been 2 challenges in a row there from Achieve that really could get some people hurt with studs up. You hate to see that again. It's been a great competitive game. Lexus looking for some glory here. Goalkeeper's going to try to put it on frame from the 49-yard line.
timer is at 2:29 and will start as soon as he touches that ball. That was really close. We almost got a touch on that ball. Gonna stop the clock. Nope, he's telling him to play. 2:13.
You asked earlier, what type of ball do I want? Do I want to claim it in the air or have a bouncing ball? I'll say this too, though. I want the opponent to know as a goalkeeper that I'm there. So if you come into the box,
that looked pretty dangerous.
You can expect to get a challenge. Yeah, lots of energy, lots of intensity. Bodies flying everywhere out here. .90 seconds to go. Achieve looking to slow the game down. Fredericksburg wins challenge there at midfield, but ball goes out for a corner. Again, just over 1 minute left to play in the game. Billies trailing 1-2.
3 back. Sebastian's playing more, a little bit more forward here. Let's see what happens here.
Chief just lumping it long. Ball's gone out. Alexis goes way out of his box, throws the ball back in.
Got to keep that ball moving, keep it in play.
That's ball. Ooh.
That was almost a.
Got 50 seconds to go here, Andrew. Might be the last push forward if Fredericksburg can regain possession here.
Lester plays that ball forward over his shoulder. Let's get
30 seconds to go. Achieve's got to throw in. They're going to slow it down just a bit. I don't know if the Billies are going to get another opportunity to throw it forward. Let's see what happens here. Achieve throws it in. And they're trying to take it down to the corner to kill this game out. Oh my gosh, what a mistake there from Billy's defender. Again, trying to go all out, but unfortunately he plays the ball out of bounds. 10 seconds left.
10 seconds remaining. They are playing this
They're just going to hold it here in the corner, and they've won another corner, and that's going to be it.
Final whistle, 2-1, Polar Bears.
Andrew, I know, again, unfortunately, Billy's come up short again tonight. But as you think about this, all of the teams that just have advanced and represented their schools so well throughout these playoffs. This year, a little bit different format. We're going to get to see an opportunity for twice as many state champions as we've seen in the past. But
I'd like to recognize Coach Petch. He started the boys soccer program in 1999, and he's closing it out here after 26 years as the head coach for Fredericksburg boys. At one point he was coaching football and soccer, and I think he found his love in soccer and decided to go strictly coaching soccer. Congratulations to Coach Petch on a really long, successful career.
Yeah, again, made the regional finals multiple times. Unfortunately, in the end, just came up short yet again. But again, just like you said, what a wonderful career. A special shout out to him. We also need to thank the fans that traveled out here to Wimberley today for both teams. Fredericksburg was well represented. Friends, family, parents, and the administration. Dr. Rodriguez, Principal Chris Wyrick, Athletic Director Wendy Dietrich, Athletic Trainer Charlie Weaver, all coming out today to support the boys in their efforts to make their community proud.
Signing out. Thanks for chiming in with us online.